I have always maintained that the Trinity doctrine was not developed by using scripture, but by using philosophy. And I stumbled across this little clip. It's an old clip, but I thought it was interesting. And it points to several things that I've always believed. Let's look at the clip, and then I'll give you my points at the end.
No problem if we have 1 John 5:7, which explicitly defines the Trinity. Give us the verse, and then should it be in or should it be out?
1 John 5:7 that's found in the King James Bible says that there are three witnesses in heaven, the Father, the Word, and the Spirit, and these three are one. This is a verse that was added to the Bible in 1522 when Erasmus, who was the first publisher of any Greek New Testament, got pressure from the church to add this Trinitarian statement because it had been found in some Latin manuscripts. And so there was some scribe by the name of Roy working in 1520 at Oxford, and he writes out this whole Greek New Testament. It somehow gets into Erasmus's hands, and Erasmus never made the promise that he'd put it in if he found such a manuscript, but he basically said the reverse. I didn't put it in because I didn't find any manuscript. So he finds this manuscript. I'm sure somebody brought it to his door, and he writes in that Greek text, and he actually changes the text from what Roy had written, because Roy didn't know Greek very well. He translated the Latin into Greek, and Erasmus had to make the fixes. But it's not found in our ancient manuscripts. It's found in 4 16th century manuscripts and 4 manuscripts in the 12th century or later in the marginal note with a 16th or 17th century hand. That's a passage that I'd have to say, this is not authentic. And the ancient church never even thought about it being authentic. Ehrman talks about this passage as if there's no way we could have ever come up with the doctrine of the Trinity without this, and therefore the Trinity is not true. But he knows what the church councils believed. He knows about the Council of Constantinople in 381 and the Council of Nicaea and all the rest of these, the Chalcedonian Creed in 451 that clearly affirmed the Trinity without having this verse even in existence.
And if it had been in existence, they would have put that at the top of the stack.
Oh, you bet they would. Yeah.
Okay.
So they were able to determine the Trinity.
So for 1,500 years, you stack up all the documents and the copies that you had, and there's not one copy that's got that verse in there.
Not one Greek copy, right.
Okay.
We have it in a few late Latin versions.
Whether you agree with 1 John 5:7 as being biblical or being in the Bible correctly or not being in the Bible, they shouldn't be in the Bible, it doesn't matter. The point of the issue is that the New Bible translations say that it doesn't belong. And what this shows us, number one, is that Trinitarians are desperate in finding proof for their false Trinity doctrine. And they will do anything to make the Trinity be found in the Bible when it is not. Number two, by their own admittance, the Trinity was developed by church councils, creeds, and forgeries. They're admitting to this in this clip. And then number three, the creeds themselves do not refer to any specific biblical text. So clearly, if you study the councils and the creeds, there is no real references to Scripture telling us clearly that the Trinity is philosophical and not biblical.